Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Fitriana Dhewi and I'm from class D. And in this video, I will review journal article by the title "The Impact of Self-Control in this on Peer Smoking and Adolescent Smoking Progression", taken from Journal of Pediatric Psychology, volume and issue number, volume 31 and issue 2. Publication date on March 2006, page number 139 until 151. Okay, the subject of this paper is to review youth smoking prevention and intervention program outcomes may potentially improve by addressing self-control behaviors as they appear to have direct effects on smoking and indirect effect through peers who smoke. This study explains the relationship between adolescent smoking, aspect of self-control, and peer smoking. This study sought to determine whether in the case of self-control affected adolescent smoking status at 10th grade and smoking progression from the 10th to the 12th grade. In addition, the study sought to determine whether self-control had indirect effect on adolescent smoking practice through effect on peer smoking. This study said that assertiveness, blaming, hostility, and physical aggression had direct effects on smoking basics. Guys, planning and impulsive control had indirect effect on adolescent smoking through peer basic smoking. According to this study, there were no significant direct or indirect effect on the self-control indicates on smoking progression. An increase in the number of peers who smoke around the time has a direct effect on adolescent smoking. Development, increasing the likelihood of teens advancing to higher smoking rates. And in contrast, adolescents who were more physically aggressive were more likely to basic smoking. It is possible that adolescents who have difficulty coping with anger and frustration use cigarettes as a coping method. Adolescent smoking prevention program may benefit from including or providing more emphasis on components to build self-control skills. In summary, this study found that self-control variables have direct effects on adolescent smoking and indirect effects through peer smoking. Okay, the next I will explain about the method. This journal using method which involves participants and procedures and also using statistical analysis. Participants include 918 high school students who were enrolled in one of 5 public high schools in Northern Virginia. These adolescents are witnessed until 12th grade. The procedure is the first. The participants were identified through class. Then the researchers initiate recruitment efforts by mail. Okay. Do this longitudinal study, participants were resurveyed in the fall and spring of the 10th grade in the spring of 11th and 12th grade for a total of 5 data collection waves. Okay, and the rates of participants at 3 springs were 96% at 10th grade and 93% at 11th grade and 89% at 12th grade. As the primary variables of interest were self-control, peer smoking, and smoking progression from from 9th to 11th grade. The data presented are based on 918 participants with complete data for those variables as well as the covariates. Statistical analyses were generated to describe the study population for demographics, smoking practice, peer smoking, and self-control. Finally, I will explain my point of view about this journal. Okay guys, I think more research is needed to understand how peer smoking influences adolescent smoking across time and what adolescent characteristics affect peer relationship and smoking behaviors. And in this study also have not explained yet another reason why an effect of the self-control variables on smoking progression was not found. Maybe because the researchers measure the self-control variable at just one point in time. But overall, I think this is a good journal. That's all from me. Thanks a lot for your nice attention. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Muhamad Rasyid Rahman from Academic Reading D. I'm here to share with you and results of my review of the journal article entitled A Cooperative Study on the Effectiveness of Crossword Game and Lecturing Methods to Teach Vocabulary, written by Ardana Naswari Purba, Suparno, and Annisa, and published in 2014. Research in a journal aims to find out whether there is significant difference in effectiveness and which one is more effective between crossword game or lecturing methods to teach vocabulary to the third grade of primary school Sumbertika Surakarta. And the method used in this research is comparative study, and writer took the sample by using cluster random sampling. And the research instrument used to collect the data in this study is tests, and the results derived from this research found that crossword games are more effective than teaching methods to teach vocabulary. And the selection of crossword game methods is reasonable because it is based on the condition of the students. They will be more active, cooperative, and independent in the classroom. And I think this journal is quite good and quite clear because it uses balanced sample. So the results obtained from this research are not so difficult to understand. In this journal, the writer also gives the steps from the crossword game to study vocabulary, such as introduction, preparation, procedure, and variation. And so that the English teachers have an abundance of material for teaching an easy vocabulary for the students. And the disadvantage in this journal, I think is in writing a test results that I find difficult to understand by using complex mathematical formulas. And that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nita Miftahul Fuadah. I am from class D. I want to review article. This article entitled Tooth Abscess from article Mayo Clinic. It contains a review of about tooth abscess. A tooth abscess is a pocket of pus that's caused by a bacterial infection. The abscess can occur at different regions of the tooth for different reasons. A periapical abscess occurs at the tip of the root, whereas a periodontal abscess occurs in the gums at the side of a tooth root. A periapical tooth abscess usually occurs as a result of an untreated dental cavity, an injury, or prior dental work. dentist will treat a tooth abscess by draining it and getting rid of the infection. A periapical tooth abscess occurs when bacteria invade the dental pulp, the innermost of the tooth that contains blood vessel, nervous, and connective tissue. Bacteria enter either cavity or a chip or crack in the tooth and spread all the way down to the root. The bacterial infection can cause swelling and inflammation at the tip of the root. To avoid tooth decay and prevent tooth abscess, namely by maintaining the cleanliness and health of your teeth and mouth, such as using fluoridated drinking water, brushing your teeth twice a day, flossing your teeth between your teeth, changing brushes every 3 months, limiting eating sweet foods, regularly checking your teeth at the dentist, and using fluoride mouthwash. After I read this article, I was able to find about the matter of tooth abscess. As for its weakness, I feel this article is quite perfect. Okay, thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This journal entitled The Impact of School Culture on Mental Health of Female Students was written by Dr. Fiba Nagar and Silky Kaudari. The journal was published in 2017 in the International Journal of Scientific Research and Management, Volume 5, Issue 7. This journal is about education and mental health. Today's modern education system emphasizes only on gaining bookish knowledge rather than the nurture aspect of education like morality, spirituality, discipline, and etc. Due to this business, these aspects are overlooked and imbalance the overall development of the personality and mental health of an individual. There is explained about Vedic education and non-Vedic education. Vedic education system start from Rig Vedic period. During the time period, education was imparted by the teacher through Gurukul system. It was compulsory from the student to reside in Gurukul's ashram via Gurukul to learn. Five-fold education system was followed in Vedic system of education that comprised of religious education, spiritual education, cultural education, occupational education, and physical education. Meanwhile, the concept of modern or non-Vedic education began from 18th century with the introduction of Western education by the British. Today's education system is equipped with technology and gadgets. It's enabling students to grab fact-based knowledge that might help the student in scoring good marks. It helps them in being successful at professional front. Modern education system is creating more professional humans by turning education system merely into schooling. The present research was conducted in different Vedic and non-Vedic school of Uttar Pradesh, Aligarh, and Hathras. A sample of 100 girls was selected randomly and they consist of 50 girls each from both types of school. The students were those who studied in the respective school for at least 1 year or more, and the journal's author placed the observation in a chart with the following research. It can be concluded from the journal's author finding that Vedic school girls have better mental health as compared to non-Vedic school girls because Vedic culture is strongly following the traditional norms of our culture and society which enhance moral value of an individual. In Vedic school, students practice yoga, meditation, Havan, and Vand path on daily basis their curriculum. The research proves that all these treatments improve the mental health of the student. On the contrary, the culture of non-Vedic school emphasizes the typical professionalism. In this concern, this natural aspect which develop a personality in a true way gets ignored and affect mental health of the student, especially females.
The author is written so clearly and briefly that it is easy to read.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay guys, I'm Cynthia Latifah, and in this time I would like to review about the journal. The title of this journal is COVID-19 and US Health Financing Perils and Public and Possibilities. The author of this journal is Adam Gaffney, David U. Himmelstein, and Steffi Wohlhandler. This journal is on page 397 to 407. And this journal was published by International Journal of Health Service in this year, in 2020, but there is no exactly the date and the month of publishing or writing of this journal. This journal explained about inadequate funding of the nation's federal, state, and local public health agencies, together with mismanagement by government US. Barriers to care faced by uninsured and underinsured individuals in the United States could effort the COVID-19 care and hamper containment efforts, and lead to adverse medical and financial outcomes for infected individuals and their families, particularly those from disadvantaged groups. In this journal has been provided steps taken by the Trump administration further undercut the nation's infectious disease readiness, including leaving some 700 staff positions at the CDC unfulfilled during the 2017 hiring freeze, and disbanding the office focused on federal pandemic preparedness. Chronic underfunding public health agencies appears to have left the nation ill-prepared for the arrival of the epidemic. For instance, case and contact tracing measures that have been successfully deployed in several countries. Not only that, case identification and contact tracing rapidly gave way to broad social distancing measures, including stay-at-home orders and closures of non-essential business aimed at flattening the epidemic curve. This journal also provides a graph that contains the population of US citizens who don't have health insurance. As a result, 30 million Americans, 9% of the population, had no health coverage before the epidemic, while 44 million more were underinsured, that is, had coverage that required high deductibles or other out-of-pocket expenses. Overall, about a quarter of non-elderly adults were either uninsured, or avoided seeing a doctor in a given year because of costs, with especially high rates in some states. Many people who are less fortunate, even during a pandemic like this, they often lose their jobs and have to bear the cost of living. Not only that, for those who have disease and don't have health insurance, they will be treated in hospital. As of this writing, the United States is experiencing the world's largest COVID-19 outbreak. Deaths are continuing to rise, and the hospital infrastructure of some cities has been severely strained. The U.S. underfunded public health infrastructure, fragmented medical care system, and paltry social protection have imposed particular impediments to control and mitigation of the epidemic. A surge in the number of patients found dead in their homes by paramedics in New York City during the outbreak suggests that many individuals with COVID-19 are dying before arriving at the hospital. However, it is unknown whether lack of health care access could have been a contributing factor in some or any of these deaths. In addition, many individuals exposed to financial pressures from COVID-19 related medical costs may be forced to skim on other important household expenses such as rent or food, risking downstream deleterious health effects. For many, the financial harms of medical bills will be compounded by lost wage due to job loss, illness, or self-quarantine. The U.S. government provides solutions and policies to take responsibility for this serious problem. It provides coverage for the cost of diagnostic testing and related health care visits for the uninsured, as previously noted, not only improving the health insurance but also medical cost funds to facilitate hospital and for COVID-19 patients. At the end of this journal, the writer submits his declaration regarding conflict of interest in journal making related to financial interest. The author makes this journal that there is no conflict between research and financial interest. Overall, this journal is good and includes the problem described. However, it would be better if this journal added several more methods that could support the preparation of this journal and added the date and month of publishing and writing of this journal. Okay, that's all for me. Thanks for the nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Cindona Ompumona from Class D. Today I would like to review a journal article. The title is Moral Education and the Curriculum, the Ghanaian Experience. The writer is Seth Assordenso, published on the 1st January 2018. Education is more than just teaching, which can be said as a process of transfer of knowledge, transformations of value, and the informations of personality in all aspects it includes. The traditional education system in Africa is that pupils are not schooled but the students study at home. Students will be accompanied by parents. Parents never paid with money. Traditional education in Africa teaches how to interact with others, teaches how to speak to parents and the people who are older than us. The traditional education curriculum in Africa is interspersed with spiritual learning. Therefore, it is created a special place for religious learning. To teach the young ones moral education, the traditional people use such stories. Moral education therefore played a key role in the life of children and adults in traditional African communities. Moral education is progressive, designed to deliver meaningful lessons to all age groups. It encourages students to build on their own learning and experiences over the course of their schooling in the UAE. Adopting a truly innovative approach to teaching methodology, the moral education curriculum encourages teachers to engage students using a variety of tools and techniques suited to their age. I think this journal is very complete to explain about traditional education in Africa, and also explain the techniques the parents to teach the students before they were taken over by the school and teach the students in school. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.